Welcome back, Wealth Tubers. Today, we're diving into a critical topic that could shape the future of our economy. Could another term for Donald Trump lead to economic ruin for the United States? As the 2024 election approaches, economists from all corners are raising red flags about the potential consequences of a second Trump presidency. They warn that his radical economic policies, including steep tariffs and reckless spending, could set the stage for high inflation and stunted growth. But will voters listen to these warnings? In this video, we'll break down the key points that experts are making about the risks associated with Trump's economic agenda. We'll also examine the data and predictions that highlight what a second Trump term could mean for American families, businesses, and our overall financial stability. Join us as we explore this vital issue, hear from economists, and discuss whether voters are ready to take these concerns seriously. Let's get into it. In the past few weeks, the U.S. economy has been receiving consistently good news. New data shows prices barely rose in August, just 0.1%, with the annual inflation rate now down to 2.2%. This allowed the Federal Reserve to lower rates aggressively by half a point in September, and they are expected to lower rates another half point in November. These actions will bring down mortgage rates, car loans, and other borrowing costs, greatly benefiting consumers. As interest rates decline, families can afford to buy homes and make significant purchases, which will stimulate economic growth. Lower borrowing costs will also encourage businesses to invest in their operations, leading to more hiring and job creation. In fact, the current economy has produced record job growth of 15.7 million new jobs in less than 4 years. We are now achieving the much-desired soft landing, successfully taming inflation while avoiding a recession and continuing growth. Moreover, wages are rising faster than prices, increasing workers' purchasing power and boosting consumer confidence, which fuels further economic expansion. All in all, despite the challenges posed by COVID-19, the U.S. economy has shown remarkable resilience and performance over the last 4 years. This growth is evident in numerous sectors, with record job creation and rising wages contributing to a more optimistic economic outlook for many Americans. However, lurking beneath this progress is a significant threat: Donald Trump's radical economic plan, which could jeopardize all the gains we have made. The former president's proposals include exorbitant tariffs on a wide array of imports, which could lead to a resurgence of high inflation. Such tariffs would not only raise the prices of everyday goods and services, but would also disrupt supply chains and diminish consumer purchasing power. His so-called Maganomics plan appears to prioritize short-term gains over long-term economic stability, ultimately risking a mega-disaster for American families and consumers. By increasing the costs of essential products and services, Trump's policies could reverse the economic progress we've worked so hard to achieve, pushing many households back into financial uncertainty. This looming threat calls for serious consideration as voters weigh the implications of such economic strategies in the upcoming elections. Trump's tariffs are economic proposals that can actually cause inflation and put you into a recession. Even the deeply conservative publication states Trump's tariffs would be a disaster for America, sparking 20% inflation or more for many goods and burdening average consumers with high costs. A conservative institute estimates Trump's plans could cost the average household $2,600 a year, with low-income Americans suffering the most. Another publication points out that Trump's proposals are similar to the protectionist Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act passed by Congress in the 1930s that helped prolong the Great Depression. It calls Trump's plans a poison pill for the American people, the U.S. economy, and the world, and Trump just keeps upping the ante, making his tariffs larger and worse. He now says they could be up to 20% across the board and 60% for China. If countries plan to reduce their dependence on the dollar, they could be hit with 100% tariffs as punishment. Trump's proposals would also skyrocket the U.S. debt. A budget model concluded that his policies would add $5.8 trillion in deficits over 10 years. No wonder another publication echoes the previous analysis, finding Trump's tariff plans would be disastrous for America. On top of all this, Trump has made explicit threats to the Federal Reserve's independence, which is a linchpin to America's global economic leadership. The ex-president has repeatedly demeaned the respected Fed chairman, questioning whether he was a bigger enemy of America than a foreign leader. On the whole, Economists of all stripes agree that Trump's agenda represents a far more radical extension of the policies introduced during his term in office between 2017 and 2021. Vice President Harris has issued a wide range of detailed and responsible economic policy proposals, including tax cuts under which a budget model found that 95% of Americans would pay lower taxes while the richest 5% would pay more. She has proposed a tenfold increase in startup expense deductions for new small businesses, raising the child care tax credit to $6,000 a year, getting 3 million new homes and rental units built in 4 years, and lowering the price of prescription drugs. Additionally, Harris has repeated her support for clean energy incentives and climate action while opposing a fracking ban. In contrast, as Harris noted in her recent debate with Trump, 16 Nobel laureates have described Trump's economic plan as something that would increase inflation and, by the middle of next year, would invite a recession. In his first term, Trump's own incompetence kept him from inflicting his worst ideas on America, with the exception of his massive tax cut for the rich, which exploded U.S. debt and inequality. But in a second term, Trump will have a cadre of zealots who will actually attempt to impose his radical economic ideas. Economists of all types know that America's economy will be far better off with Kamala Harris as president than in a disastrous second Donald Trump term. Now it's time for average voters to realize it, too. In conclusion, as we navigate this critical moment in our economic landscape, it's essential for voters to consider the implications of the choices ahead. The recent positive trends in the U.S. economy demonstrate the potential for growth and stability thanks to sound economic policies and effective management. However, the threat posed by Donald Trump's radical economic agenda cannot be ignored. His proposals, characterized by exorbitant tariffs and drastic measures, risk reversing the progress we've made and plunging the nation into inflation and recession. As Vice President Harris lays out a vision for responsible and inclusive economic growth, the contrast with Trump's agenda becomes stark. With the support of economists and experts, it's clear that America stands to benefit from leadership that prioritizes stability and fairness over radical and risky policies. Now, the question is whether voters will heed these warnings and choose a path that secures economic prosperity for all. The upcoming election is not just a choice between candidates. It's a decision about the future of our economy and the well-being of American families. Let's stay informed, engaged, and ready to advocate for the vision that truly represents the best interests of our nation. We've explored some alarming predictions about what another term for Donald Trump could mean for the U.S. economy. With economists warning of potential inflation and economic instability, the question remains: will voters heed these warnings? We want to hear from you. Do you think voters are paying attention to the economic implications of Trump's policies? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on critical economic topics that affect us all. Share this video with friends and family so they can join the conversation too. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next video.